Hello. Pull up a chair and join us in the alcove. Here with episode 58 of our homebrewed 5th edition D&D campaign, The Chaoslands. As always, before we start, a handful of quick announcements, so let's go through those really quickly and get started with our game. We go live on Mondays at 7:30 p.m. Eastern Time on YouTube, with VODs available immediately after the stream ends. You can subscribe to the channel down below to get a notification whenever we're going live. While you're following us on our streaming platform, you'll also find links to all of our social media accounts, our Twitter, Instagram, and TikTok. Go ahead and follow those for all the latest news and schedule updates, as well as awesome character art, profiles, and other fun things, including the map of our campaign.
That was for real.
Yeah. I think I still have the map thing. Let me put it on just so people can see it.
Do it.
You do it.
Did you do it?
I did it. It's there.
Nice.
We also use a variety of background music to improve the ambiance of our game and stream. And you may recognize some of it from Critical Role's Welcome to Taldore, Welcome to Wildmount, and Candela Obscura collection albums, as well as some royalty-free music courtesy of Riot Games. Links to those can be found below. That's all the announcement.
I'm just doing this, Ricky.
We'll find some other way to incorporate that. I mean, we can always just do it as we begin our dive into the chaos.
I turned on the intro.
Nice.
Yeah. We're probably like...
Oh, that's epic.
Nice.
Yeah.
The Iron Will. This music is too cheerful.
What? It's a cheerful place we're
I
in.
know.
Yeah.
Oh no, the map stayed above the chaos.
That's so good.
Perfect.
We are proud of our art.
Yep.
The Iron Will, having arrived in the distant and unfamiliar Frostfang woods, and having restored their ally, the Big One, from the dead, had begun a long and treacherous journey towards the Rexade of Silthia, in search of answers about the red lightning rifts that plague the continent of Rivenath. Which, as you saw on the map, the journey is far from over to travel to Silthia.
We've traveled in multiple days, like this far on the map. We have to go like this far.
It's all good.
We get there.
Traveling through the woods for a few days, discovering strange sights such as hot springs and a scorched tree, you were approached one night at your campsite by a strange figure, a frail-looking young woman in an ill-fitted suit of heavy armor, who introduced herself as Shaira, and informed you that the woods would not be safe for you tomorrow night, particularly you, Calthir, due to the full moon and the lycanthropes that make the woods their home. Instead, she invited you to spend the night at her home, a manor only about half a day of travel away from your current campsite, and promised that no harm would come to you, despite her revealing her true nature, pretty frankly, that of a vampire. As such, in spite of your trepidations, you made your way to her estate and were met by her manservant, Gregor, and once night fell, were joined by Shay herself, with the opportunity to speak to formerly an exceptionally bright prodigy of the Syncrophic Academy of Magic in Silthia, one whose background provided her with knowledge and the ability to answer several of your burning questions. You took this opportunity to ask her about the continent, the world at large, some of the players that you may have not encountered so far, as well as her ancient sire, who had seemingly displayed an interest in you, according to her. A name that you recognize from your prior dealings, particularly around the Weaver, Karis Miranon.
Mirlar.
Miranon.
Oh. Karis with the king.
As Shay went off to hunt for food and satisfy her thirst at night, she tasked Gregor to spar with you and get some practice, while potentially providing some of you a form of entertainment. As such, you made your way into a dark and dimly lit cellar with a large gabled ceiling, almost like an underground chapel of sorts, to discover a large workshop, as well as an open pit with old blood staining the stonework, and an altar filled with blood. Here in this pit, the Big One and Timon had a brief fight with Gregor, overcoming him after a grueling battle, where he proved to be a very capable foe, with the ability to mix the blood magic of his vampire companion's teachings and elemental runes carved on his armor, similar to how Timon has been able to use since his encounter with the lightning rifts. With the sparring complete and all of you recovering from this rather bloody and bruising exchange, pick up in this underground chapel. You're catching your breath, and Gregor brings himself to his feet, walks over to one of the. There were all these weapon racks and armor stands on the side. He walks over to an empty armor stand and begins unbuckling his armor.
2 questions.
Yes.
Liam. So question number 1. At the end of that fight, he said that he, like, in a bit of a regretful tone, that he could not, like, defend his mistress, and that he needed to, like, get better and whatnot. Do I sense like he say that with some sort of fear for like a loved one or family member that's under threat, or is it out of pure servitude?
Make an insight check.
Then I do have advantage. Ooh, natural 20 for 25.
Good start.
Nice. Haven't rolled
He
one of
rolled.
these in a while.
He rolled a natural 1. So I think in the aftermath of this battle, with him kind of still recovering from being pretty much knocked unconscious and rather soundly defeated, he was being pretty much upright, frank with. He genuinely cares for her and wanted to keep her safe, and thought that he would be more than capable of doing that, but it was out of a fear for her safety.
Is this Gregor de Shea?
Yeah.
You could also tell that it wasn't just this fight. I think with a natural 20, I'll tell you that he's genuinely afraid for her right now, with her being out hunting. You could kind of tell that, like, while he was mentioning, he probably mumbled something about his always going out and leaving me behind and stuff like that. Like, he was just grumbling about stuff under his breath that you were able to pick up.
Okay. And while he is unbuckling his armor, I want to come to him and ask him, hey, Mr. Gregor, that armor of yours, that's very... ask it for me. It's very rare. Like, that kind of metal is that's mithril, right?
While he's undoing one of the buckles, and he takes one of the shoulder pads off. It is.
That's the alloy of royalty. I'm from Cornwall, and only the House of Corn wear such armor. Do you mind if I ask where you got such a wonderful...
My mistress provided it. I believe it was one of the things that was here before. And there's been many years now, and I've been wearing it. I've carved these runes on it myself, and continue to work on it and improve it over the years.
Can you tell me any more about the runic order that you said? Like, are they just part of Clan Nostromir? Is Clan Nostromir part of the runic order?
No, I haven't personally met anyone from the runic order. It's just those were Clan Nostromir. There were a couple of members of their clan within the Deadwood group clan. I don't remember what I called it last time.
Clan. Deadwood clan.
Yeah, Devil Clan is what he said.
Deadwood clan. Oh yeah,
There's-
that's his clan.
Within the Towering Wilderness, as well as in the desert, there's groups of nomads that tend to travel together. Several roaming clans and tribes, and Clan Nostromir is one of the tribes that wanders the desert. We had some dealings with them, and some of their members, when they decided to leave the desert and come join us in the wilderness, as part of the Deadwood, they learned of this magic from. They mentioned the runic order. I heard stories of some Lord Constantine who had taught them the ways. I've never met him personally, but
And
there were only one or two of them in our clan.
And is there a deity or some sort of higher power that they worship or something? Because I never really studied any of this. I'm a smithy.
Well, not a deity per se. It's more about, honestly, being a smith. You would probably be in a better position to understand this than many folks. This power, these runes, they're part of the land, part of the metal that's found on the ground, part of the air that surrounds us, the clouds that form, the water that flows.
Well, I always worked the iron. It was my dad that really looked into like enchantments, and I mean, not that he could do it himself. He would work with other people in Cornwall.
It's not quite enchantment, as you're not taking magic from within yourself and putting it into these objects. It's more so you're being a conduit for the magic around you. I'm not an expert in it. It's just what I was taught to do was to, while carving these runes, to meditate, to immerse myself in a peaceful sort of environment where I could appreciate the world around me as I worked it. And the magic would simply flow with the blessing of the elemental deities around us. Or elemental powers. I wouldn't really call them deities. They're not part of the Cosmologica.
Have you ever seen this? It looks kind of like a lightning bolt, and according to my friend Astra over there, this is like from Aganas.
I've never seen a rune quite like that, no, but if that does make sense. Agnaz is the god of destruction and the bringer of red lightning and lightning rifts and storms.
Called it. I said that. I said it first, actually.
Oh, I should did. If you can read stuff.
I can read a lot of stuff.
She's the only one of us who can read.
Yeah.
I can read. She's our appointed reader.
He finishes taking off the armor and is like placing it on the armor rack. He's shirtless and ripped, and he walks over to he walks over to one of his to where he's like put, and he actually before the fight folded up
He's
his
very
like
vocal.
suit that he was wearing. He begins to like pick it up and begins to like pull on the shirt and the coat and bow tie, despite like still being very bloodied and bruised
And burnt.
and burnt. You can see just like burn marks across his chest where his armor was sitting.
Does he have flour on his feet? Idiot.
Would you mind if I took a look at your armor?
No, well, go ahead.
I just want to go and see if, one, it looks maybe before it's been like carved into and whatnot, the armor that Karis was wearing in that painting, and also if there are any like Linvari symbology on it or inside of it.
Make an investigation check.
Actually, on that note, I know I looked through a pile of like weapons and stuff over there. Was there any like armor related stuff?
There were a few suits of armor, yeah.
Just varying things.
Varying things. Nothing that seemed to like catch your eye. They were fairly well made, sure,
Yeah.
but like about the same in terms of like what a normal suit of armor would do. So if you would like a suit of armor, a normal unenchanted one, there might be something in there.
Right.
Is there plate mail anywhere?
Just casually like that.
No, not one fitted for an elephant.
One
in
day
particular.
there'll be one day sitting there that's elephant filled.
23.
Did get some change.
I did, which is huge. One day I'll be able to wear the thing
It
that
has to be huge.
Yeah.
It's not the same armor.
Okay.
You're pretty confident about that. But it is similar. It is of similar make, but a little bit lighter. The armor that Karis was wearing in that painting was heavy plate mail, like very much spiky, adorned with like black metal, almost the entire thing. This one is definitely much lighter. There is some symbology of Linvari that you're able to make out on the armor in places. But it seems like it's been either hidden or molded over, or kind of there's maybe like a small buckle somewhere that's like just gets buried under the armor that looks like the shape of the logo.
Okay. Does it look like it's been intentionally kind of like hidden away, or kind of just scratched out, or like
Yes, but you're not sure whether that has been done more recently by him or by someone else recently, or if it was done like a long time ago. You're not entirely sure about that. With a 23. I would say you probably have encountered this metal in the past. In
Mithril?
very small amounts.
Mithril?
Yes.
Okay.
In very, very small amounts.
Is there any shields that are not just ornate?
Yeah, there's probably a couple of shields just sitting around.
Non-electro steel shields?
Yes. There's no electricity anywhere.
That's what I'm looking for.
There's a few that are made of iron. Like,
Are they heavy?
They're not heavy. They're about the weight of a shield.
Okay.
They're not like as heavy as your stone shield was
Yeah.
in the past.
There's
for sure.
a fucking gigantic coat of arms.
There is a giant coat of armor.
I'm looking for one that's like a round, smaller buckler type metal buckler. Like, you know when you're playing like RPG games and you can choose like the tower shield
I
and the
don't
medium
think
one?
that-
I want like just like a
Also have, like,
one.
Yeah, I don't
a
think there'd be
spear or
anything that's
something.
Okay, that's fine.
I
Then
think so.
nerve
You have,
wracking.
like, two weapons.
Just like kind of like a, just like a
Saint
Something
Sia.
like that,
yeah, just one I can
Style.
like block things with, but not like my stone
take
my
up to-
stone one was fucking like a tower shield for somebody normal size.
I need like the Captain America, like
Yeah, I just want like a nice
not the round one, the other one he had. Like
Any
that was,
si-
like,
any-
Shaped like
yeah.
a shield, but like sideways. Or
Yeah.
something.
yeah, anything like that. But that's fine. If it's nothing there, then
No,
I'm good.
I don't think
I
you'd
mean,
find any here.
What with enough time, I could certainly make that for you.
Oh, yeah, perhaps one day. I mean, doesn't seem like we're staying in the same place too long, but maybe perhaps once we get to the next Rex 8. I'm looking for, I mean, I have my own, but it's a little bit larger and looking for something a little bit more sturdy as well. And I'll explain kind of the shape and the size and all that sort of stuff.
Are we in a hurry to leave?
I mean, define hurry. I don't think we're leaving this evening.
Well, not this evening, but Shay is very well studied. So I wonder how much more we could learn from her. And
Did you see all of her books? It's quite the library.
no, I leave that to you.
I'm on it.
But like she's from Siltia, we're going to Siltia to find out about the storms, and she was top of her class and all of that. So I wonder how much more we could learn from her, and maybe I could learn some moves from Gregor, and maybe I could work on a shield for you.
I guess it depends if we're allowed to stay here. She did extend the invite for just tonight, but no harm in asking, perhaps.
But she also said she was quite lonely, and she's very excited about us coming for the sleepover.
But typically a sleepover is one night. I've never had any of
My
them.
sleepovers
She'll be back
that
soon
I've never
enough.
had before.
As long as we're
Harm
not
in
in
asking.
there.
She did say she likes animals.
Yeah.
Closing Jen's ears.
Jen, that's what
Yeah.
Gregor's finished putting his coat and shirt on. He's just standing there by the side, watching you all, just leaning up against one of the walls, holding his arm. He's put the spear or staff blade that he was using away in one of the racks as well.
Go for it.
No, go for it.
Oh. Just very curious, Gregor, what was that blood-like substance?
Oh, that was blood.
It didn't act like blood.
It was. There are ways in the use of blood magic that my mistress has been teaching me to extend your own vitality, and that altar provides a conduit for that magic. That was blood. It was my own blood, but it was empowering me and making sure that I could provide an adequate challenge to the companions. Once you'd mentioned that you were going to be fighting two of you.
Yes, thank you for allowing us. That was
Do you
rather
regularly
enjoyable.
fight things here?
Not defined regularly.
Well, you have this altar you use. There's
Yes,
blood stains on the ground.
My mistress sometimes provides with training material.
Are we training material?
No, not. I don't think so. At least. Sometimes she'll fight me herself, but those battles are usually fairly short. More for her entertainment.
Your favorite hers.
Yeah,
Once in
actually,
a while.
I'm curious.
For hers.
In her favor?
Oh yeah. She's quite a powerful mage.
I keep forgetting she's a mage.
I believe the prior denizen of this estate performed some rather heinous acts down here, but since my mistress has been here and since I've been here, it's been fairly tame. We've mostly fought some animals. I believe once she trapped a bear.
It's impressive.
Here.
Did you come here after Shay, or were you here before?
After. I was... A long time ago, I was a bounty hunter of sorts. One of my bounties, or one of my targets, was this vampire that had been plaguing the city of Silthia. And then I learned while I was in Silthia that she'd disappeared and she'd gone away. And that she'd come to these woods. So I came here and searched for her, and we did battle in the woods several times over years. Years I lived in these woods, running from the storms. On her tail, I were able to find her. It was only after I'd given up that I went back to surrender the bounty that I discovered that nobody truly cared, and people had forgotten that I even existed. They'd assumed that I was dead. The only person left who knew me at that point was her, so I tracked her down one final time and decided to stay here. I've lived here since, and she's been kind to me, and she cares about me, which is rare in this world.
Especially considering, you've been trying to hunt her and kill her the whole time. It's pretty nice.
Like that, yeah.
And I guess in that time, since you've been here, have you had a chance to meet her sire?
I was gonna ask that.
I have not, no. I believe the last time he visited was 50 years ago, maybe a little less than that.
So when he left for that lake,
That's what she says. I've never seen him. I've heard of him. But
That's what she said.
there was also a period of time when I first came here that, let's just say, I wasn't a welcome guest and manservant. I was more of a prisoner of sorts.
to Shay?
Yes. I surrendered myself to her, and she kept me here for I don't know how long. And then eventually, we talked a lot more over the years. We became close as friends.
It sounds similar to a story I read in one of my books back in the tower. There was like this beast that had a castle, and then there was this lady that she also liked to read books, and then he trapped her, and then he was terrible, but she fell in love with him. It's a whole thing.
Oh, Called Stockholm Syndrome?
Yeah.
That's what the book was called. Yes, yeah. Beauty and the Stockholm Syndrome.
Have you left this place since?
Not the grounds, no. I go out and I tend the gardens and
Interesting.
the lake, or the pond. Sorry, not the lake.
Oh, I
The
think
greenhouse. I help her with what she needs and she provides. I make sure to keep her safe and she provides me with a roof and a comfortable home. One that doesn't have the risks of the red lightning around us. So.
I was gonna ask, while we're having this conversation, can I take a short rest?
Yeah, I think that's a short rest.
When he was talking about if he had met Karis and when he was last here, and like that time frame, can I try to get a read on how truthful that is?
Sure. Yeah. Make an insight check.
Ooh, so nice.
I
26.
didn't roll.
that?
I will
So
message
it's a
you.
good thing I didn't roll. What
A one.
And a one. Insane. I'll buy everything you're saying.
Action surge and fucking second wind or short rest. That's so good.
Yeah, buddy.
Yeah.
That's why I need
I
it.
sent you a
Fighter. Maybe I just become a second runic knight and we just go ham on people.
0 is 10, right?
Yes.
Yeah.
Perfect.
Nice.
I don't know if you write
start.
these things down or if you wrote it down last time. How? I know you connected us again, but I don't remember when it was. Oh, it was when we were upstairs.
He couldn't have written it down
Okay,
last
not
time,
bad.
Derek.
Well, it had to. Yeah, it had to have been at least like a couple hours, which I don't think this fight has lasted.
No, it's
24?
24
So I
was
think
your
we're
last
still
three
connected.
rolls, yeah.
Yeah, so that's
Yeah.
40.
The only thing I wrote
Yeah.
last time was at the end.
So you're at 80.
Not
That's
to weird
pretty
plan
fucking
that goes
good.
with Lord
Yeah,
Constantine
because I
Teddy.
do.
It's probably still up, I would guess.
Yeah.
I think we're.
I think it would still be on.
No, it was.
Yeah.
Okay.
You rolled 3
Um,
when I watched.
Yeah.
Then I'm gonna
it
just
was-
send a message to you while this conversation is going on, and just let you know, just as an FYI, he's not being entirely truthful about Shay's sire. He may know more than he's leading on.
Tell me everything. Yeah. Interesting. No message back. Maybe there's. It might be too risky, but I wonder if there's more information up in other rooms of this mansion.
I'm sure there are lots of things hidden away. It's whether or not it's worth the risk. I know Timon may be interested in getting more information here, but I don't know entirely how safe we are. Anyways, not trying to stir anything, but just to be aware.
Are we all short resting right now?
I definitely am.
He looks at you, like, would you like to go back upstairs? You can sit in the warm, because it is actually kind of cold down here. The woods themselves are fairly chilly, and this being an underground chapel, several floors underneath, it's kind of cold for
I'm
most of you.
good, but Arkmere is always chilly, so as I'm shivering.
For most of you, quite cold. And I
Like
can-
taking off layers.
If we go upstairs, you can have a seat in the parlor. I can show you all to a guest chamber if you'd like to prepare for the night. They can light one of the fires there to keep it warm and comfortable.
I'm sorry to intrude, but I got the sense when we were downstairs that you were worried about Shay being out and about right now. Would you want to go see if she's alright? Do you need help?
No, I don't think that's such a good idea. She asked you all to come here to keep you all safe. So I don't think it would be a good idea to go out at night. She's very capable, and I do trust her, especially when she's out on the hunt, as she will usually stay in the shadows. I was more worried about her well-being last night because she would be coming out and meeting you all face to face. That's why I made her wear the suit of armor.
But I'm also curious about that. I don't usually see mages using plate armor, you know? Like, what good would do that to her?
The armor is not simply... let's just say, and he closes his eyes, focuses, and one of the runes on the armor begins to glow. The entire armor glows, and then it reappears, like it disappears from the suit, from the rack, and reappears right in his hand.
Wow.
He's holding that.
Whoa, that's mighty impressive.
Yeah, we're not going anywhere anytime soon.
It's one of the runes of Clan Nostramir. It's the ability to, when either the wearer is in grave danger, or when I deem wish, I can bring it to me.
Whoa, was this one that you learned, or that she taught you?
It was one that I learned.
Can you touch me?
It will take some time, but I don't know why not. If you would like.
I can pay you a nail. Do you drink ale?
No,
Have you ever drunk ale? It's pretty damn good.
I have. Not for me, I much prefer
Are you
wine.
on ale right now?
On it.
It's either that or the fight.
It's also not quite as simple. I will probably have to journey with you for a little bit into the woods so we can find somewhere higher up with some elevation. You really need to be in tune with the primal forces of air in order to master this ability. It won't be as simple as simply sitting here and learning how to carve the rune. Like I can teach you the rune, but to be able to imbue it with energy, and I don't know how your like particular red lightning energy works either, so I don't know if I can or not, but I can try. I have nothing better to do over here, as far as I know, unless my mistress has something for me to do.
Can you show me which rune that is?
Sure.
Just point to me.
He like the rune that was glowing. You can see it's carved almost like in the bottom left, like near one of the abs. And it goes over like 2 or 3 plates. It doesn't. The first thing, obviously, is that it doesn't look like a dwarvish rune. You don't recognize what the rune says.
No.
No.
Lost. Do you know what that says?
Oh, sure. Let me see.
The rune says in a language that you don't know what the language is by looking at it, but you can read it. It says home.
Oh. It says home. Home? H-O-M-E?
Yes.
Oh.
Not home. As in
Oh, I get it. Clever.
H-O-L-M-E.
I thought it says
Holmes
home
on
at
home.
first.
Yeah.
He is home to the armor.
Mike Holmes.
Very nice. All right. Very kind of. Thank you.
If we are going to get cozy upstairs, maybe you can tell us some stories by the fireplace? I love a good story. It can be a true story. Maybe about some of your experiences out and about, you know?
Sure.
You know, as you're like hunting Shay, things you saw, what you did.
He points towards the stairway leading upstairs, and He's going to wait for you all to head upstairs before following. He's not going to leave you down here.
I run upstairs. I get cozy in front of the fire.
I forget. Did we see any bites on him? No, right?
I think we did look.
We looked. I don't think we
Like
saw
he's
any.
not a vampire.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Isn't he is all
Counselor,
fine?
He is not
before you
lying.
leave, you're about to walk up the stairs. You turn, and your eyes immediately catch on the giant lance that's up on the wall. And you swear you hear a voice coming from it. A silent whisper. It just says, "Take me."
Oh God.
Oh my god, do it now.
Yeah, because talking weapons are always good. Yeah, they're always good.
They always end well.
Yeah.
I just try to process what is happening, and as long as I have free will, I'm gonna try to just walk upstairs and
You have
ignore
free
it. Okay.
Before I, or as I kind of walk away, do I see any more either armor or weapons made or inlaid with mithril?
I got the broken chair.
Make a perception check for me.
You have to live.
He switched chairs
The
with you.
broken chair.
Pure siege.
Damn you.
Why?
Switch it.
Dirty.
You don't spot anything made of mithril in a way that, like, just looking over it, you don't spot anything made of mithril. But you can see that, like, this lance or glaive spear that he was using, there was an inlay in it that looked like a similar hue, like a similar metal. It wasn't entirely made of that, but there was parts of it that were made of that.
And that's the one that looks kind of like...
Yeah, it looks very much like Halcyon. And also, you can make out that glaive and, like, the craftsmanship on it and the suit of armor that he was wearing, despite the fact that his suit of armor was heavily modified and, like, runes were carved in it and it was, like, adjusted for him. They have, like, a similar style. They were meant as a pair in many ways.
God. Okay, I walk upstairs.
I'll head upstairs to the main floor. He steps up behind you all, closes the door, locks it, and begins to lead you all now upstairs to the second floor.
Is this the lance looks like?
No.
Two eyes and nose and mouth.
You need fangs in there. Like, more angriness.
It's happy lance.
Kelther, as you walk up, you can't help it. Your eyes just fall on that giant painting of Karis, presumably, and that lance. You can clearly tell it's the same lance.
Yes.
Yep.
You can see it just dripping with blood, and as you look at it, it kind of feels like vaguely feels redder than you remember it last time. You don't know whether that's in your head or not, but something about the painting looks a bit different than it did before, particularly around the lens.
I'm trying to remember because I know you described it the first time we took a look at it. Battle of Cragdom, I think is that right?
So I did end up changing the spelling of Cragdom.
Oh, okay, sure.
It's the right spelling is on the map now.
Okay. And it says like angelic war. We may have already got this, but like, am I able to discern if I can see like that there are clearly two sides to this battle?
Yes.
And he's against the angel-looking
Yes.
side. The other people on his side.
Mm-hmm.
Is there anything notable about any like the rest of them? What they
Demons!
look like? Are they all wearing the exact same thing as him, or does he stand out amongst
He
them?
stands out. He's like the figure
Obviously,
of
he's the
prominence
focal
in the
point.
middle.
Yes.
The figures around him don't seem to be as heavily armored, and their faces and stuff aren't covered. They look to be almost like an elvish folk. Can make out like long pointed ears, slightly like pointed helmets, rather plainish looking armor, not nowhere near as elaborate as the one he's wearing, or
Okay.
even as elaborate as the one that you just saw downstairs.
Right.
They're wielding these, like, they are wielding glaives and spears that are similar, though a lot plainer than the one that you saw downstairs. There's a few with like shields and glaives.
Is there? It might not be detailed enough, maybe only on him, and I've seen. Oh, but that's not the same armor. Is there any Linvari symbology on him or these other, or is there like a very clear moon in the sky above like his side or anything?
There is a moon in the sky about that side, and you catch it now that there is a moon visible, though it is bright daylight otherwise.
Okay.
And you can also see that the painting does grow a little bit darker on that side.
Okay.
Make an investigation check for me.
I've rolled too well my last 4 rolls. This is going to be bad. 19.
I don't think you notice anything too specific, but you can piece the details together. It's a pretty fair assumption.
Okay.
The things that you know. With the 19, your eyes do keep being drawn to the other side, though. And you can make out now, having seen the map, a few details. In particular, upon the chest of these gold-plated, armored, in some cases winged, in some cases not, army, you can make out a crest that looks like women with wings holding up a spear.
Yeah.
Entirely in gold.
Okay. That's what I'm staring at the painting right now.
The rest of you go upstairs, and he opens one of the doors to the side, across from where the art studio almost was. And it's a fairly warm, or fairly cold, actually, very cold, very drafty. One of the windows is slightly open, and he actually goes and closes it immediately. It's a bedchamber. There's a large 4-poster bed, a small, rather empty-ish dressing table, a rug on the floor. It's fairly sizable. You could probably all of you fit in here pretty comfortably. There's a fireplace over on the side that he goes against to get to work, lighting a fire for the night. It is dark, but the darkness has never really bothered you all that much.
That's what I was in my head too.
He gets to work lighting the fire. What are you all doing?
What time are we looking at now? Like, I know it's evening, and because Shay's nocturnal. Just curious. Like,
Make an intelligence check for me.
how smart am I? Not at all.
Oh no.
6.
It's pretty late.
It's so bright out.
I'm just staring at a wall, and I'm like,
Yeah.
what time of day is it?
You don't really know what time it is.
Okay.
It's dark, it's cold. You're all rather tired because you had been traipsing
Yeah,
through
yeah,
the
yeah.
woods today.
Okay.
You could be sleeping now. It's basically how it is.
Okay. Sometime in the evening.
It's late.
Okay, so
It's
okay.
late. Because she only came down probably around like 6-ish, and then you guys had a long conversation, and then fighting, leaving. It's pretty late.
Is Gregor still here with us?
He's
or-
working on the fire right now.
Oh, and that's in the bedroom?
Yeah.
Oh, okay. I see.
So we're on the 2nd floor.
Yeah.
When is Shay due back?
I don't know.
How close is the 3rd floor to us, I guess? Like, is it just staircase?
The stairs
up?
just continue on.
I cast detect magic, and I want to look around. Just our room, and then maybe just wander in the hallway and go towards the 3rd floor. See what's happening.
There doesn't seem to be anything magical aside from you all and like the armor and stuff that you're wearing. Not much. You do notice that one of the rings that he's wearing on his hand, as he's like lighting the fire, you can see he has like 2 or 3 rings. One of them is definitely magical.
No active like scry or anything.
No.
Let's see. And I guess like walking towards the 3rd floor. Do I see anything in? Yeah.
You walk over to the stairs and you go halfway up the flight of stairs, and just at the top there's just a closed door at the top of the stairs.
But nothing I can see that's.
There's a magical trace on the door of School Abjuration.
Yep.
I don't know what that means, but okay.
The door is charmed.
Yeah.
Or not charmed, you know what I mean? It's
Very charming.
very charming. It's a charming door.
Very
Who's this handsome man
door.
coming up the stairs?
Oh,
Oh, door.
Very charming door.
You gonna turn me?
No, Abjuration is a school of magic around protection and like magical locks, magical traps, that sort of stuff.
I go to open the door.
Oh no.
Cool.
Just wandering around.
Are the rest of you doing anything extra big one?
I'm
Really?
gonna be browsing through the library, just looking at the books, seeing if there's anything interesting that I'll grab. Actually, I want to specifically look for any sort of diaries.
Like
I wanna look
diaries
for any
of diaries of Shay, or just in general?
Shay's
A wimpy
diaries.
kid.
I do want to see if I can find more information about Karis.
Mm.
So if they're like diaries written by Shay that potentially have information about Karis in them.
Make
Or-
an investigation check.
Okay.
Karis won't.
Yeah.
What's happening? I make him back to the room and be hanging around Gregor while he's making his fire, working on it. But kind of curious, out of curiosity, like, does that ring look special in any way, or what does it look like?
Not any more special than the other 2 rings that are on his hand. One of them,
Rim
like
job?
they're
Yeah,
both.
is it a rim job ring?
Yeah.
No. There's 2 gold rings and 1 silver ring. They all have like different colored crystals on it. The one that was glowing has like a rather small red garnet almost that's like faceted on like all 8 sides.
Yeah.
It doesn't look any fancier than the other 2. But,
It's the silver one?
no, the gold one. One of the
It's
gold ones.
Okay.
I rolled a 15.
You get to work looking for any books that you feel like might have information about Karis. We'll get back to that.
Okay.
You really changed the spelling of Craig.
What? Yes.
It's now spelt with a silent X.
Pretty much.
A little accent over the E.
Yeah.
I would have just found if there's a chair somewhere in this room, just sit down, and I'm furiously writing down everything that I've taken in over the last like hour.
There isn't a chair per se here, but you grab a chair from from the art studio, because there's 2 or 3 in there, because there's a desk and a painting easel and all of that stuff, and you bring it over.
Lance asked me to grab it.
Let's talk to me now.
Gregor finishes lighting the fire. The room is still pretty chilly, but starts to get warmer fairly quick. If it gets too warm, feel free to crack open the window.
Does the room look like it's been used at all recently?
Not at all.
Okay.
It looks very much like it's been well maintained. There's no dust, there's no dirt, it's not like it's been left to abandon, but like the sheets on the bed are very crisp, as though they've just been like that for.
They're still in their packaging.
Yeah.
But the whole house has like been fairly pristine. Sounds
Fairly,
like
except for the
Dungeon.
studio and
the studio.
dungeon. Yeah.
While you're here, I'm kind of curious. The storms surround this place. Does the storm ever hit?
Never.
this property?
Never.
Do you know why? Is there anything that protects?
I just imagine it's afraid of it. This place's master. Like the wolves and the werewolves and every other creature in the woods.
Why would the storms be afraid of anything?
I was joking. I don't know why the storms aren't here. Perhaps that's why Karis or the sire built this manor here, was to
We
be safe from it. But I've lived here for decades now, and there's never been a storm here.
do they just don't get to the castle or any of the grounds?
Nowhere on the grounds.
Curious.
He's the one Shay's told you about, Sire. What are your thoughts on him?
My allegiance is not to him, it's to her.
Do I believe
Shay
him?
has.
Do we believe him?
I was just gonna say, like, in your head as well, I was like, yeah, but where's her allegiance?
I will finish that. She. One of the greatest risks to her is him, and she. Let's just say she has been happier that he has not visited recently.
Are we all in the same room? By the
Make an
way?
insight check.
Yeah, I want to see if I believe what I just heard.
Yeah.
Like I'm in the room too. Bookshelf.
I would say
room?
you were in the library and study downstairs. That's where most of the bookshelves are. There's no books
Okay.
in the bedroom.
Okay.
Insight 16.
Double 19.
Sounds
26.
Ooh.
Better,
I just like stopped right. I'm like,
better than I could do with my net 20.
Arkmer, you believe him. He is not saying anything. He's not.
He never lied to me.
Yeah.
Or Captains.
Such a sincere guy.
Oh, you're getting secret messages again?
Yeah. They're just sending explicit pictures to one another.
Yeah.
I swear. It's only ever particular.
I'm a dick.
I want to see it. Hey, that's me.
I recently learned the expression dick and peanut butter
peanut butter.
from Critical Role. Very insightful.
I'm not actually going to peek. You don't have to hide it from me, Derek. You do so.
You have no reason to doubt what he's saying.
Yeah.
I'm still just writing in my journal. over here.
I also wanted to ask, does Lord Constantine that you mentioned, how well did you know?
I didn't know him. The folks of Clan Nostromere learnt their ways from the Runic Order, and they mentioned the name of one of these members of the Runic Order.
Oh, alright. Is Lord still around?
I have no idea.
Did they speak as if he was like
I don't think
somebody
so.
from a long time ago? Or...
That, and it was kind of where they're. When I'd asked about the history of these rune carving techniques, that's what they mentioned.
No.
And so it was taught to them by, or their ancestors a long time ago.
It's all making sense over there.
Time and learning is great.
He's got it all.
Hey, last week was how you.
Yep.
Fascinating story as of your clan. Never heard. Question, DM. Would Timon have heard of any like nomadic tribes in the region surrounding Cornwall or Kesmax? Like, are there any?
Cornwall? Yeah, almost definitely. There's definitely some tribes that live in the mountains, like just out on their own, sounds like nomadic tribes. You would have heard of them. They probably would have come by to like trade pelts and stuff, but most people from Cornwall would have kept their distance from them because they were almost like savages. So,
Wouldn't give the impression of being wise or anything like that, right?
How much impression does a random person coming into town to sell pelts give of being wise?
No.
Yeah.
All right. Fascinating.
He, after finishing lighting the fire, he's like, "Do you have any more questions for me? I can. Would you all like dinner, food, anything I can prepare for you?
I wouldn't say no to a meal.
Okay. I will return shortly with some food, though it is a bit late, but
Can I help you?
if you'd like. Sure.
Sure. I'll tag along.
He leads you downstairs to the kitchen.
And we never saw Timon again.
Yeah.
You see him
Or Timon
rifling.
comes back with a suit of armor.
Yeah. Guys,
Little blood.
We didn't leave that.
we've got to go.
Yeah, you see him like rifle through the pantry, and there isn't much here in terms of supplies. A lot of the food here is mostly like dried meats and things that would be fairly well preserved. There's a large supply of vegetables, actually. Some of them are preserved, and some of them fresh, which seems odd based on the climate around you.
I have a
Get to-
banana.
There are no bananas.
No, I have a
Oh,
banana.
you have.
How long have you had said banana?
Is it like
It's
banana bread?
banana bread ready.
Yeah, ready to be baked.
You get to work making banana bread.
Two bananas.
And then-
So much banana.
All right, yeah, I'll help with the banana bread.
When did you get these bananas?
A while back.
Had them for months.
And we traveled into the future.
Oh yeah.
Astro, you don't necessarily find any book that seems like it would have any
Check
specific
them out.
details of Karis or any of those things. You don't find anything that's been written by Shay outside of the art studio, and those are mostly trashy writings of fiction. They're just like tossed
They're
on the board.
classics in the making.
Indeed. But let's see. You would probably find some books that are very, very old. The only one that catches your eye, and it catches your eye almost immediately because you recognize it,
Oh.
is a book that's labeled Creating Life.
Creating life?
I have, and you were reading.
It's the same title?
Astra recognizes it as Creating Life.
Oh. That you got from Spark Eye?
I got from Spark Eye.
That you got from Spark Eye?
I mean, I'm not there with you, but yes, that is the one that. It's the big book that I had been spending a lot of time reading, and also recently.
No, she's just asking Calther out loud, hoping he'll.
Yelling from the other room. That's all she
Calther
said.
is
Is that the one you
upstairs.
got? I'm like, what?
Did yours have like writing and stuff in it?
It did. A little bit. Not much, but a little bit.
And this one jumps out at me only because I
recognize
recognize
the name. You've seen
it.
the book before.
Okay.
It looks like, relatively speaking, identical to the book that Calther had taken out and shown you all.
I'm just gonna take it out and kind of flip through it quickly just to see if there's any annotations or anything.
You open the book, you begin to flip through it. You don't see any annotations. Make a wisdom saving throw.
Ah,
Why? Oh lord. Oh no.
hopefully it's like what Critical Role had in their reunion where it's just insta death.
Yeah, that would be cool.
What was it that they used? Did you watch that? The one dude opened
I
the
did,
vault and
yeah.
it was, what was it?
Like, touch of death.
Yeah, something crazy and he just
Disintegrate.
died.
Dirty
Yeah, that's
20.
what it was. It disintegrate spell.
Your eyes begin to almost glaze over as you look at the words. You begin to feel like a massive headache and a little bit like a presence is invading your mind, but you're kind of used to presences in your mind.
Yeah.
You steal your mind, push it out, and
There's enough of us in here already.
you can see the words of the book, and it seems fine.
That's weird. I put it down just kind of to the side, grab another book, and see if I get a headache.
Just a random book?
Random book.
Or the one immediately beside it?
The one immediately beside it.
Make a wisdom save.
Damn it.
Astra's smart.
Is that one also called Creating Life?
It is not,
Oh.
as a matter of fact.
What is this one called?
11. Oh shit.
You get out of it like, nah, I won this.
Well, if that book did it and this book did, this one definitely.
Hey, dice rolling.
Oh no.
So for 15 points of psychic damage,
Okay.
as your mind just gets rocked with these shouts and screams and whispers and laughing and scratches inside your head, a trickle of blood comes out from your nose. You drop the book immediately.
Do I see that?
I don't think you're there.
I'm by myself.
She's
She's
like
in a different
downstairs.
room.
Oh, completely
Because
different.
you
room.
went up, I went down.
I'm back in
Yeah.
the.
You guys were all
bedroom.
upstairs in
Yeah,
the
you're
bedroom.
somewhere
She's
else.
the
downstairs
library.
Yeah.
in the library.
What can I see from afar what the book is titled?
Come up with it.
Oh, he knows.
The book is called In Search of the Watcher.
Oh fuck.
But who watches the
In
Watcher?
search.
She's the
Who's
watcher.
the watcher? I don't know.
I mean, we knew that. We knew she was the watcher.
And the
Like
writing,
Future
like
watcher.
the characters on the spine,
Well, we don't remember it. We
they
as
look
players,
similar to the way Creating Life was written. Like they look almost identical in terms of like the character set, almost like they were written by the same bookbinder, by the same person.
Does it say an author?
No authors,
What?
anonymous.
Anonymous.
I mean,
Anonymous.
And
it
Animus.
doesn't say anonymous on it. There's just no author on it.
Poku, what do you think, buddy? Have him look at it.
Looks at it.
Somewhere.
Tangled.
Yeah, that's just his new thing. What do you think, buddy?
He does not do that.
That's how they
That's
identify
the only thing that he does,
Oh, yeah, no.
every time that he's
As you're looking at the book, you hear on the side of the shelf. You make out the words that say, "Step away from that book."
Haster? I say out loud.
Yes.
What is this book? Why is it doing this to me?
He just repeats the same thing. Step away from that book.
I take a step back. Where have you been, Haster?
It has been hard. It has been difficult to track you down.
Well, I've been calling for you everywhere. It's not like I've been hiding.
Something is hiding you.
Truth.
Just me or my friends too?
The little symbol thing
Yeah.
that she gave us.
Stone.
No, but I've only had. Do you mean that arrow thing? Because I've only had that for a little bit, and I've been reaching out to you for a very long time, and you've been AWOL. Don't interrupt me.
Something more powerful.
Oh, there you go. Don't
Is it hiding? Is it hiding just me or all of us as a group?
You.
Well, I mean, then by theory, you could have looked for my friends and then assumed that I. You're interrupting me again.
Your friends do not matter. Your companions do not matter.
Told you, she's in a fucking bitch.
I've been unable to find you.
Who's hiding me?
I do not know.
How?
Stay away from that book.
Haster, I'm not gonna lie, you're making me want the book even more.
Now I want it.
No
How-
response.
How come I can talk to you here?
No response.
Oh.
Haster?
No response.
I go and I knock. Haster.
No response.
I knock over a table.
Grab the book.
You all hear a loud smash coming from downstairs.
Ah!
I'm in the kitchen.
Oh, get
Well,
up.
you're in the kitchen, you're busy, but you can hear it because it's on the same floor as the study is, the kitchen. So you hear a loud smash coming from behind you in the study.
I'll get up and start walking down, see if I can figure out where it came from.
I'll take the cucumbers off my eyes. Let me know
Where
if
did you
need
get
anything.
cucumbers from?
Never goes anywhere without that.
There's some of Timon's. They were in with his
Yeah,
really
I
old
think they're all
bananas.
moldy.
Yeah.
Yeah, it'd be enough of a random noise to be like, "What's happening?"
I probably just engaging over so the best ale in Cornwall.
Is there something you'd like to do before the rest of your companions come downstairs? Because you do have a brief moment as you can hear them coming.
I'm going to. This is probably really stupid. I'm going to take off my cloak and I'm going to pick up the book with it and wrap it in the cloak.
When you picked up the book, it didn't do anything. It was when you opened the book.
I'm still
Archer.
gonna do that just in case I fall and it opens again or something.
Okay. You grab the book and you begin to wrap it. But I'm going to say that before you finish wrapping it, that's when the rest of your...
And I'm gonna put it in my
Calter and-
backpack as well, actually.
Well, Calter and Arkmir, you arrive down seeing her stuffing something into her backpack.
What you doing?
Can you see, like, did you, like, throw a table or something? Like,
There's a
how
table
Arkmir
scattered
would
to the
actually
ground
say
with like a small
So what
metal
you
vase that's
doing?
kind of like clanged off to the
Okay.
side.
Oh, he already said what you're doing.
Do I see like? Did you flip table or what?
I knocked over like a side table or,
Yeah,
or
there's like a
something.
side table with
whatever
like
it
a small
was.
metal vase on it,
Right.
like a decorative metal bowl, and those clanged across the floor.
Yeah, and this room otherwise is like pristine.
That's how you left it earlier. Yeah.
Yeah.
It's the study that you were sitting in, or the parlor almost.
Right.
Uh,
Just talking to Haster for the first time in forever, and then he just disappears again, gives me no information. So, you know, living the life.
Just tired of your cloak.
Yeah, I was just gonna, you know, it's so warm in here, and I was feeling overheated, and you can probably see that I have goosebumps.
You can also see a faint trickle of blood that's just going down their nose to
Yeah.
her chin.
Did
It's like a slight smear.
Did Hasta somehow hurt you?
Well, no, just my feelings, as usual.
You've got
Boogie?
blood.
Oh. I was picking my nose and I got too excited.
Disgusting.
Wow.
That's all that is. So that clears that up.
Do I
Astra has
believe her?
raptor claws.
I don't think you have to roll for that.
She follows it up with
That's
that.
a natural
How's that?
one.
Yeah. Ashramberg. Sounds odd, but I'm very familiar with nosebleeds.
Well, I mean, you do get a lot of curses on you, so.
More so with the people that I go after.
Oh, I mean, it's not like he popped out and knocked me in the face or anything. He was just knocking on the table, telling me nothing helpful.
In my case, it's when I mess with someone's mind, let's say.
When you mess with someone's mind, you get a
That they
nosebleed.
can get a nosebleed.
They get a nosebleed. How come I've never seen this?
Never.
Have I seen this?
Pretty much anytime he throws his psychic daggers.
Yeah, it's either blood through the ears or the nose.
Right, okay.
Are you okay?
Yeah. wasn't very nice to you guys, if I'm being honest. He said that somebody was hiding me. But not hiding you guys.
Yeah.
Only hiding me, and that's why he hasn't been able to reach me. And then for some reason that he wouldn't answer, he can reach me now. And then he just disappeared.
I'm gonna walk over to the bookshelf. Astra, were you looking at any of these books here?
I was looking at the Creator...
Great life.
This one here?
Create Life? Yeah, that was one of the books there.
Pretty high up.
This one?
Yeah, that's the one. I've recognized it because I've seen you looking at it.
Yes.
And yeah.
How does the quality of that one compare to the one that I have? Does it
looks in better quality.
look the same writing? On the outside, I'm not opening it right now.
Yeah.
Okay, so it looks almost identical, but like a...
Yes.
The same serial number.
Barnes and Nobles.
You've been reading some of these? You've been taking a look at some of these?
Yeah,
Did you look at the Creating Life one?
I did, yeah.
Okay.
It gave me a bit of a headache, I should warn you, when I opened it.
I'm gonna take...
It's boring.
I don't know, I didn't really get
Alright,
too far.
give me a minute and I'm gonna ritually cast, which means it's gonna take a bit of time. Detect magic.
Oh wait, would mine still be up?
10 minutes?
30 minutes.
Is my
Oh, it's 30?
backpack just
Yeah, it's
glowing
30.
to shit
It's
right
10,
now?
10 minutes to cast, 30 minutes is what it lasts for.
And then it would still be up.
Yours is better than mine? It says duration up to 10 minutes.
Let me double check mine.
10 minutes, it probably wouldn't be up. Because you cast it when you were going upstairs and you came back down. You had a good conversation.
Yeah, if it's 10
But-
minutes. Read that wrong. Yep, 10 minutes. 30 feet is what I read.
Oh, yeah. Okay.
Yeah.
30 minutes death.
Yeah.
So I'm just going to take a
That
few
would be a
minutes,
better
like, take my
version.
time there and start a little ritual to get going.
Big one, is there anything you're doing? Or you just...
No, not
Relaxing
really.
upstairs.
Just relaxing.
Is there anything you want to work on?
I don't really have anything on me to work on anything, I don't think.
Interesting.
Yeah, not really.
Cool.
Just kind of chilling.
Like 10 minutes pass. You can make out faint magical traces on that book in particular. And then just all the stuff that you guys are all wearing.
Any other books, though, or just that one on the shelf?
I've got my backpack
Just
in
that
front
one.
of me and I'm holding it. I'm
Yeah,
just
but you
assuming
and your
it's
backpack are
glowing to
often
shit.
glowing.
Oh, yeah, they're all always kind of glowing.
Okay.
Like,
You
unless
do-
there's, like, something, like way more
Where's the bag?
from her backpack or
Is it in
something.
your
Make an
In the
arcana check.
backpack.
So that'd be
I didn't
glowing,
put it in. I didn't put. Yes,
You didn't put your cloak into the bag.
right.
8.
It's just in the backpack, not the.
It's a very faint magical source on that one.
Okay.
On that book. But just as you're glancing over all of the books on that shelf, you can see that they all kind of have very similar sort of like spines and decorations. And they're all by an anonymous author.
Okay. The type of magic, is it?
Abjuration.
It is abjuration.
Yeah.
I see.
Abjuration and enchantment, probably.
I'm gonna go looking for the kitchen.
It's just out into the
You just
right.
walk out after the 10 minutes casting.
It's just out into the
Okay.
right.
I assume I find Timon and Gregor in there.
Yeah, they're about halfway done with dinner preparation.
Forgive my interruption, Gregor. Are the books in the library not meant for us to peruse?
I don't see why not. You may if you wish.
I
I will warn you, some of the books are rather enchanted by either the mistress or her sire.
I see that, which is why I ask. I wouldn't want any harm to befall any of us for simply trying to look at.
I would probably err on the side of caution, but
Oops.
it feels you all are fairly capable. If you'd like to examine them, you can. I don't believe there's anything in the study that is meant to be kept under lock and key. So.
Okay. I'm gonna go back to the room then. I don't know. It seems like such a weird coincidence, but so I'm gonna just be like, you said you got
Make another Arcana check for me.
not that die. Oh, stupid. This one's gonna be a nat 1 or 15. 18.
The visible magical aura around that book that you were looking at seems to have almost completely faded. It seems a lot lighter now.
On the creating life one?
Yes.
So it's like fading?
No.
That came off my book.
I'm going to attempt to open it. And I'm going to grab the creating life book. And so just like before I open it, looking all around it, I'm actually going to... Actually, no, wait, do you still have it?
What?
The creating life
Nope,
book?
gave it back to you.
Okay. I'm going to pull the other one out and just kind of hold them side by side without opening them. Pretty much identical other than...
They look pretty much identical.
Okay.
Did Spark Guy say where he got that book from, by the way?
We never asked. I think Big One just said like he'd always seen it there. Big One or Spark Guy just kind of always had it.
Current big one, just always saw it.
But I had like deciphered stuff from it. That sounded kind of like Clanko. Can I cast guidance on myself?
Like you thought Clanko wrote it, maybe?
Or he was somehow involved. It had a lot of C words, talking very much like Clanko speaks. I'm gonna cast guidance on myself, and then I'm gonna attempt to. I'm gonna put them down on a table and kind of like open them, like
Both of them?
yeah.
You open the old one. And as you open the new one, it flares up with magical energy, almost as though the curse on it hides itself under normal situations.
Okay.
Make a wisdom saving throw.
So you're doing this in front of us?
Yeah, just on the table there.
But there's detect magic. You can see the aura of magical energy,
flares
and it
up.
swell up as you open it.
From my perspective, I just see him opening a book.
You just see him opening a book at the moment.
There you go.
Ooh.
27.
Fine. you feel a presence come into your mind, but you say
Not
prayer,
today, bitch.
prayer to Limori and
Not today,
push it away.
bitch.
Yeah.
The magic that's flared up. It's still the book remains very heavily enchanted, obviously,
Right.
right now.
You actually might kind of see me like this for a second. Push away the light.
Yeah, it
It's
did that to
very-
me too. I got a headache.
Oh, no, there's just very powerful magic
Oh.
aura here at the moment. Okay. So just like basically opening the covers and then just trying to compare, and then if I don't notice any immediate differences, then I'm going to try to kind of skim through them together, especially later in the book when it starts looking more frantic.
You skim through and you find the writings later on in the book just aren't there in this one. This book seems to end before it gets frantic. There's a lot of empty pages at the end, actually. The part where you deciphered a message,
Yep.
none of those words or those sections are even here.
Okay. Is there anything in this book that is not in the one that I have? That I can immediately glance, obviously. I'm not going to literally read the entire book, but anything obvious that stands out?
Yes, there are a few chapters near the start of the book that were not in the other.
Okay.
They go more into detail. In the other book, I mentioned that the book goes into detail in terms of like how to potentially create constructs and some of the dabbling into necromantic means. Those were only briefly mentioned in the other book. In this book, there are swaths of like 2 or 3 chapters dedicated to the work of bone and blood.
Okay.
You also, throughout this, couldn't help but notice that there was an empty spot right next to this book. And beside it, there was a similar book, actually, with similar writing on it. The writing on it simply said, The Fall of Eldernor.
The fall of what?
Eldernor.
Eldernor? Do I recognize that name?
It was on the map.
One sec. Oh, that's like the
Collapsed
crazy place at the bottom.
Oh, how do you spell it?
It's AELDERNU umlaut or whatever it is. R. No, it's the two dots.
With
Oh, okay.
umlaut
It's
and
the
everything.
Yeah.
Oh, Eldernor.
Ah, okay.
It seems like those are three books that have very similar binding and writing style.
Similar, like, aura read on it.
Yeah, no aura read on it. It's empty.
Oh.
There's no
Anonymous?
magical aura on it.
No magic on it.
Oh. Wait, have all the other ones faded as well? Like, because I
The
kind
book
of got
that's
it.
in your hand is fading.
Open it.
No, but the one that's in my hand is open.
Yes, but the magic on it is fading.
Oh. Interesting.
What is this book called again? Creating
Life.
Life, and then that one's The Fall of Eldernor.
Yeah.
Also anonymous?
None of these have authors on them.
Do they have any? Maybe it's more question to Calthea, but is there any? Are the books written out to anyone, like a message in the front?
Is there a message in
Not in the one you've opened. No.
To my love?
Exactly. Dear Shay.
Interesting. This copy of Creating Life seems to have differences than the one that Spakai gave me. A bit more focus on necromancy.
That's weird. Maybe it's a special edition.
Perhaps. Didn't know I would find another one. Looks like perhaps a similar printing on this other book here. I'm not going to open that one though. I'm just going to take a little bit of time to just write in my notes very, very like quick ad hoc scribbles of just bullet points of kind of what I can skim from those other chapters.
Okay.
And then I'll put the book back. So
Just make an intelligence check for me.
okay. SMRT. Just straight intelligence?
Yep.
13.
Okay. I will write that down for future reference.
Okay. That's what I'll just take the next little bit to do. Not a super long time, but
Yeah. Having you finish helping Gregor prepare a nice platter of vegetables, some dried meat, some jerky, and some banana bread.
Banana bread's like so out of place.
You bring it out, Gregor finds like a nice...
Before we leave the kitchen, I kind of want to ask.
Hmm.
So, Gregor, I don't mean to sound ungrateful or anything, but why are you helping us? Why is your mistress helping us?
You are guests. She invited you here.
But why?
I don't know. Perhaps she was lonely and bored. She discovered there were strangers in the woods that her master was also happening to keep an eye on, and curiosity probably got the better of her. I don't know the whims of my mistress that well. She insisted yesterday upon leaving and tracking you down and inviting you here.
Do I believe him?
Make an insight check.
he was just like, I don't know. You were like,
21.
You did not believe him for a moment. There's definitely something that he's not letting on.
Interesting.
He is lying through his teeth.
you beat him once, you can do it again.
But how did she know about us? I mean, we weren't anywhere near here until a few days ago. We weren't even... Well, I honestly don't know how we got here, but how did she know that we were here, or you or her old sire?
She mentioned that some of her pet dogs encountered you all, and that your descriptions matched something that her sire had told her to keep an eye out for in the woods, and
As in, how we looked like?
I don't
Any
know.
one of us?
I don't know. That's just what she said.
Did I notice as we were cooking if he used any weird ingredients? Like
Like cilantro.
poison,
Yeah, that shit's bad.
cilantro,
It's all same level.
Yeah.
or any weird powder
tastes
or
like
liquid
to me, but I don't like it.
substances or any like.
I would say you're
I'd
not really
rather-
familiar with any of the spices
I love
that he
But does it look weird?
That's where
No, it doesn't seem immediately.
I know what vegetables look like.
The vegetables you're very confident are vegetables. The dried meats you're fairly confident are dried meats. But he did use some spices and some aromatics that you're not familiar with.
What you making there?
Oh,
yeah.
these are for the fragrance. They had a nice smell, particularly to roasted vegetables. I gathered these herbs myself from out in the garden a few days ago. Tend to grow only in the winter.
Really? Interesting. Okay.
Meanwhile,
Other than punching him in the face, I don't know what to do.
You're on your own there, buddy. You're on your own.
He like lied to you. Like,
I am a hammer, everything's a nail.
again, run to the situation where he comes back to us wearing the armor.
Yeah.
we got to go.
he puts together the platter and hands it to you. Feel free to take this out to the dining table and just grab it. And he goes down into the attached wine cellar to the kitchen. I'm just gonna grab some bottles of wine.
I run back. I run back.
Okay.
Do I hear any noises from these guys in the lower
They're probably
floor?
talking near the library, and the exit to the kitchen is right in front of the library, and the dining room is on the end of the hallway.
Okay, so I run over there. Guys, there's something weird about this. His not being honest with us. I asked him, why are they helping us? And he's lying to his teeth, and never mind, let's get the fuck out. I don't know.
We can't leave right now in the middle of the night.
I mean, we
He's
can eat
also
the
carrying
we can eat banana bread. Okay,
He's got an apron on.
We need to leave. I've got the good stuff.
We need to leave, and I'm sweating. I am cold and I'm sweating. Sweating.
He's lying about why they brought us here? Well, why do you think they actually brought us here?
Catherine, you didn't mention that one.
She has a vampire.
But she eats bunnies and stuff.
So
What?
she says. You still carry Jen?
I think it's probably still in our best effort to stay here for the night. But again, I mentioned I can put down the barrier so that we can, even within the room upstairs, we'll at least have the comfort of that. But whatever that means.
Is that
I'm also listening for if I hear him coming back up the stairs, so that.
I think you have a few moments.
But
we need to make sure that we have an emergency exit of some sort. If we
The
need
clouds.
to run fast, we must hurry
Well, once a-
fast.
light of
The
day
thing up
will
into the clouds.
That's
at least
30
give
minutes.
us.
Yeah, but we'll be good for 30
protection
minutes.
from
We can write
sharing.
our correspondences and say our
I don't
goodbyes.
know if they're nefarious in their motives, but they're at least not being entirely truthful with us. So
How do we get to know? Do we beat it out of them?
maybe not the
pretty
most
strong.
diplomatic approach.
Beat him once.
I mean, we're likely staying here for the evening. Either they'll come forward with more information, or come sunrise, we make our way.
Do you think she's actually hunting? Do you think she's gone to get somebody? Because when I asked him when is she due back, he was like, I don't know. But how do you not know? How long does it take to hunt a bunny? Stupid.
Especially when there's a perfectly good one there, right
You
there.
leave Jen out of this.
She may be hunting more than just bunnies.
Or she could be bringing somebody back. What if she's bringing back Karis?
It's possible.
You begin to hear footsteps coming up.
We should.
Look, banana bread.
You're still sweating a bit.
Oh,
And
definitely.
the
Yeah.
banana bread is like shaking.
You see Gregor coming back with these 2 bottles of steel.
Yeah.
I'm a snowman.
We could take this back upstairs. Big one's waiting up there, so we can
This guy's so.
bring the food up to our chamber for the evening.
The dining room is far more comfortable for if you would like. You can go upstairs and grab the big one.
Eat the big.
Will Shay be joining us
upstairs, you're just on
for
the table.
dinner?
I don't know when to expect her back. She's probably quite hungry because she didn't get to eat much last night.
But isn't she hunting
Yeah.
right now? Why would she be hungry if she's currently hunting?
Well, yes, but in order to satisfy her hunger, she didn't have a meal yesterday because she was off meeting you all, and it's hard to hunt in armor. She might be else though. I'm sure she'll want to speak with you all potentially when she returns around. I don't know when she will return, but for sure you should probably try to wake up before dawn so that you can speak to her before she has to turn in for the day.
I mean, in that sense, we probably want to head to the bedchamber and get some rest. I know we're pretty exhausted from our travels here, and I mean, you included have sparred against.
Yes, I could do with a quick bite of that banana bread. Smelled delicious while you were making it, so please go ahead and grab a seat in the dining room. I'll just go upstairs and grab the big one, your companion, and come down.
No need to be so nervous. I'm sure it tastes great.
Last time it didn't turn around actually.
He goes upstairs and peeks and looks at you, the big one. Your friends have prepared dinner downstairs if you'd like to join.
I'll be down in just a moment.
How long have you
Thank
had
you.
those cucumbers?
You all go to the large
Since
dining room,
since
a
Elmer
table.
gave us a bunch of vegetables.
Yeah, he did. There's also the very generic and bland, probably gray food that I
you
conjured.
made. I've been feeding Jen.
Yeah.
There is a plate setting for about 6 people on here, so he sits down on one of the seats and let's dig in. And actually, he begins to uncork one of the bottles of wine. You all sit down and begin to have a nice, pretty delicious meal.
Oh, banana bread. Timon made it.
Yeah. The banana bread is good. The spiced vegetables are good.
I eat all of it.
I noticed
The-
you eating the food.
The meat and jerky are really good.
Are you eating the food?
I'm eating the banana bread.
Well, I don't know what
Right,
any of you guys discuss, so I'm digging right in. It's
Yeah,
delicious.
are you
I didn't
eating
say
the
don't
food?
eat anyways.
The
I'm
food
eating.
I eat, I'm scared of the drink.
I don't drink wine, so we're good.
And you have a very nice and delicious meal, and he takes a sigh and leans back a little bit. He's pretty at ease. He undoes his bow tie as he eats, and it actually is really nice to have visitors. We haven't had guests in a long time. Haven't really spoken to anyone other than my mistress in quite some time.
When was the last time you had guests?
I believe we had some visitors a few years ago from the werewolf tribes. They were asking for mercy, I believe.
What happened with that?
I believe there's a reason you all are safe here tonight. I think my mistress made an agreement that she would only go out to hunt wolf on the night of the full moon.
Which it currently is.
Those were the last visitors you had for dinner?
They didn't stay for dinner.
They were dinner.
They were visitors that we had.
Guys, she's gonna come back like full-on vampire
But
werewolf.
have you had visitors stay over like us before? Maybe not like us, but stay overnight.
Where?
Elmer the Green Musker, but like what? He was like the one of the
Druid.
No, I know he's a druid, but did he have like some like guardian or protector or
Elder
anything,
of
or
the
he was just
forest?
Elmer the Green
He
Musker?
was just the guardian
Okay.
of that
Oh,
forest.
the Green Monster.
Yeah. He was just the guardian of that
And wasn't
forest.
he in like a big ass wolf form?
Well, yeah.
When we
yeah,
met
yeah,
him,
yeah,
yeah.
yeah. But that's just his
Had a
shapeshift.
few other visitors, but I don't know if I can reveal their identities to you all, as I'm sure you all wouldn't want me to simply go about telling any other visitors that come by that you all were here, I imagine. So discretion is the better part of valor.
But they stayed for similar reasons. Being protected from the werewolves.
No. I don't think we've had anybody arrive on the night of the full moon in quite some time. Probably ever.
Have you had any dealings with the druid of these woods? The protector?
What druid?
Insight check.
Make an insight.
I want to know. Because Elmer knew of those wolves, which were shades.
He knew of Frank.
He knew of Frank, but 25.
He doesn't recognize the phrase like the druid of the or the keeper of the woods or whatever it was that you said. No. He's not lying about that. You also gather that he's not lying about how few visitors and any they've had. So
Okay.
you're fairly confident he's not lying.
Okay.
You're also quite a ways away from where Elmer was, like Elmer's home was.
These are his woods.
These are.
I believe
Or
about
are they?
we believe about his story about Shay working out a deal with the werewolves.
Yeah. He's not lying about it.
Gregor, can you remind me how long were you trying to track down Shay? When Shay
Several years.
Like how many years are we talking about?
Several.
3 or 4, 5
Wow.
maybe.
So you're just
We
like
fought many times over those years. Sometimes I won, sometimes she won, and she always managed to elude me.
And who was it that gave you the bounty to find her?
In Sylvia, at the Synthropic Academy. I believe they were aware of her nature. I believe she was a student there when she was turned, and for the first little while of her time there, she feasted rather injudiciously.
I see. So is the school in general just kind of sent out a bounty?
I believe that she's not. This is all a long time ago now, and I don't know what the situation in the city was, but I believe they chased her out.
I see.
The entire city.
And so how long have you known Shay now?
About 50 years.
50 years.
A little
Wow.
over that.
Wow, weird. So around the last time that she saw her sire. Huh.
That's what she said.
What a coinkydink.
He just shakes.
We know you're Karis.
Does he seem put off by that?
No.
Okay.
I believe she mentioned when I was imprisoned here that she had to request permission from her sire to be able to keep me around.
Oh.
So,
But you never met him?
no.
Because you were locked up.
Yes.
I see.
I imagine that during that meeting, that when he came and visited, she asked for permission to be able to have a friend or a companion here.
I see.
Just Shay still keeps in touch with him.
Do I believe
Somehow.
him?
I imagine so. The connection between the vampire and their children goes pretty. It's pretty intertwined. I imagine he's keeping an eye on her.
Did you roll something?
Insight check, yeah. But I believe him.
If that's everything,
Well,
had a pretty nice meal. Yeah.
Actually, question: where are you from originally?
Oh, one of the tribes in the wilderness,
right,
the Towering
sorry.
Wilderness.
Okay.
Nomadic
So you
tribe.
didn't spend any, I guess, of your time in Silthia. That was very limited.
When I struck out to become a bounty hunter of sorts, obviously the main places for jobs would be in Silthia, or at least in the vicinity of where I was at. So I operated out of Silthia for a few years. Made a little bit of a name for myself as a very capable hunter of not necessarily even just bounties, just monsters, threats, a mercenary of sorts.
Well, thank you for this dinner.
No, it's my pleasure.
Thank you, Tommy.
It's very good.
We should. I have a headache. You have a headache? Headache? Yeah. We should all probably go to bed now.
I think that's wise.
Yeah.
I'll clean up these plates and these trays, and then probably turn in for the night myself as well. I have to wake up tomorrow morning, as in the day there's a bit of garden work I have to do outside
Oh, well, that's nice.
before the sun goes down tomorrow.
Thank you. You're very kind.
Thank you. If you are around tomorrow, we can perhaps speak about the rune carving and anything else that you would like to learn. If you decide to stay, I'm sure I do recommend you all to either wake up before dawn or simply to have a brief conversation with the mistress. If you're planning to leave tomorrow, I'm sure she'd like to say goodbye. And if you plan to stay, I'm sure you should probably ask for permission.
Sure.
Thank you.
And you know where your bed chambers are? And, he begins to clean up and grab some of the plates. And,
I walk away.
Getting faster and faster.
You step away and you make your way up the stairs and into your bedchamber. You couldn't help but notice while you were having dinner distant owls.
okay.
Not close enough to be unnerving, but present.
They're out there.
They're out there.
Distant yelping.
Yep. Definitely.
You'll head upstairs into the bedchamber.
Yeah.
In the bed chamber upstairs, I want to check before I try to settle down for bed if there is some sort of exit route. And
There's
if-
a window. It's cracked out. It's closed right now, but you can crack it open.
Can
You
a
don't know how
person
far it opens, but
fit through.
if you break it, probably.
Okay. And how high is it?
On the second floor, so not too high.
Not too high. All right.
You can look out, and underneath there's a snow-covered bush, open it.
And for the bushes.
And is there any sign of a secret entrance to this room or exit anywhere?
Make an investigation check.
The fire.
Are you setting up the dome?
I will, yeah.
It's soundproof too, right?
It's it muffles
investigation.
the sound.
15.
You're fairly confident there's no secret doors. There's anything in here.
What happens if you create his dome and there's a scry, a scrying orb in the area? Does it stay within the zone, or does it eliminate it?
Spells and other magical effects can't go through the dome.
Even if they're within that range when he casts it?
I don't really think it does much for sound, actually. I thought it muffled it. I knew it didn't silence it, but...
Okay.
You have no idea what would happen to, like, if there was a scry active and then you cast a dome around it. I feel like it would probably eliminate it, but... There is one thing that you do know, which is that it's a dome.
Yeah.
But underneath, there's nothing.
Okay.
Oh. So they could be, like, listening with the glass.
Coming through the floorboards.
Yeah.
Where this room is in the layout-wise is right above where the kitchen is.
Or he's cleaning.
He's just looking up through this little hole right now.
But anyways, you close the door behind you. There is no lock on the door, which is something you immediately notice as you close the door. There's no latch. There's nothing.
How big is this room?
Fairly sizable. Probably like 30 feet by 10 feet, or 30 feet by 15 feet.
Okay. Well, the dome will definitely stretch one of that, the 15.
Yeah.
It'll cover most of the room.
Sometimes they want to be able to open the door then, right? It's the dome.
Yeah. If I put it so that the edge would be like right at the door, they wouldn't be able to come through the door.
But just clarification's sake, because I don't want to be said that I didn't mention this, the door swings outward.
That doesn't matter.
Yeah, but they can't access the
They
door.
can't-
I'm not trying to bar the door.
Just block it.
I just mean like they would be able
I'm
to
just
come
clarifying the fact that all of the doors in here
Stop
swing
yelling
outwards
at
into the
it.
hall. Yeah.
It's like fire regulation.
Yeah.
So what you're saying is if we put the bed up against the door, they
door
won't
would-
be able to get in.
I mean, without climbing over the
We've
bed.
already
yeah.
done that once. And it's gonna
They should have blocked it where they opened it.
Just want to be sure that I mentioned it.
No, that's fine.
If you're trying to barricade the door swings.
I'm really not even no,
Okay.
honestly, the plan wasn't to be like, haha, you can't get into the room now. It was more so just like a protective barrier around us, just in case. So I will set up like somewhat in the middle of the room and start preparing that because it takes some time.
And the rest of you are doing while the spell gets cast?
Besides the fireplace in this room, I forget, what else did you describe was in here?
Like a rug, a small four-poster bed, a little bit of like a candelabra hanging from upstairs, but he hasn't bothered lighting the candles on there because the fireplace genuinely provides enough light.
Right.
The door, the window, like a small like dressing table with a mirror on top.
If I go towards the fire right now, does it still feel like hotter than usual? For me.
It feels hot. It's a fire.
But like hotter than usual, or is it just like regular like
I mean, hotter than you're used to it feeling.
okay.
Yeah.
Then I'll probably move, I guess, still within the dome, but like further away from where that heat source is.
Yeah.
Then bust out the dirty.
You finish casting the dome, and it covers the majority of the room. But like, the door itself is like there's room to step in.
That's fine. Also, the inside of the dome is like a comfortable temperature, regardless of what it is outside. So even if the fire goes out or whatever, it won't just suddenly get like freezing cold inside the dome. It's also opaque, so they can't see in, but they can hear us.
They'll never find us in here.
You guys in there? No.
I'm gonna use Awaken Mind to speak. I'm gonna time it. Don't react. Can you keep a secret?
You hear in your mind, islands.
I think she has a book about me.
What?
Don't tell the others because they might. I don't want them to have me like put it back or something. But
book?
I snagged it. Yes. It was a book on the shelf and
You stole it?
I'm shushing you inside of our heads. I took it. It's a book about, I think it's about me.
It's just like stare eyes.
Act cool. I don't want them to know.
Different than normal.
Yeah, exactly. It's just on
It's
edge.
pretty on edge.
I put it in my backpack. But it hurt me a little bit. I got a nosebleed. I told them I was picking, but it was actually from the book.
The book hurt you?
Yes.
Well, how's that?
I think it's a book. I know. I think it's a book about me, though, and they're trying to find me. But I don't think that they know that it's me.
Do you want me to hit the book?
No. Maybe. Not right now.
I can beat the shit out of it.
I don't think that's a good tactic. I don't know. I just don't want to tell everybody else yet.
Well, I was going to say that you shouldn't steal from the vampire queen, but
Yeah, but
but to be honest, I'm pretty fucking scared that we're here. I think that they want to murder us or serve us for sacrifice,
I
or
know
maybe it's all about you and they're gonna keep you and kill the rest of us. I
well,
don't know.
that makes me feel great. I don't know if they're gonna try to kill me. Like, the book is called Searching for the Watcher. I'm the Watcher, I think. I don't know.
Are you the Watcher?
I don't know.
What the fuck is up with that?
I don't know. It's a long story. I'm pretty sure I'm the Watcher, and the book is called Searching for the Watcher. When I opened it up, it hurt me. It gave me a headache, gave me a nosebleed. But wouldn't I want to know if they're searching for me, like how they're doing it? I don't know. It's like a book all about me. I kind of want to know what's in there, so I get the upper hand.
I am so confused.
I am too. I just had to tell somebody because it was killing me inside, but I stole the book from the Vampire Queen, and I don't know what to do with it, but
What do you want? How can I help you?
I don't know. I think once we get out of here, then we kind of figure it out from there. I think I gotta read this book somehow without it killing me.
I don't think I can help you with that. But what about the others?
Are they gonna make me leave the book here? I have a feeling the big one will.
Well, I am so conflicted right now. We shouldn't steal things from people.
I know,
who
but if you went into
host
somebody's
us,
house,
but they're going to kill us, so I
but if
don't think
it,
it makes much of a difference.
but okay, here's the thing though. If you walked into somebody's house and it said "How to Murder Tymond," you'd probably want to have a gander at that book, right?
Probably not the right Tymond.
What if it said
How do you know
Tymond
it?
Ironbeard?
Oh, another time.
It's not that the
And it had your
name.
picture on it.
I don't know.
It had your picture on it and like your social security number. It had all of your information.
Does the book have a
definitely.
picture of you?
I haven't looked very hard at it yet because it hurt me. So I just wrapped it up in my cloak. Now I'm
So it
freezing.
might be another Watcher.
Maybe. But we'll figure it out once we get out of here. What are you guys laughing about?
Don't worry about it.
Oh.
You all begin to turn in for this long rest. Just keeping watch. What's happening? Are you all sleeping at all? Are you able to sleep?
I still don't know what's going on, so I'm sleeping beautifully.
Oh yeah, we haven't
We don't have sleep.
Okay.
I'll probably just watch first like I normally do.
I'll sleep first and then be ready to take over after.
Lads, your secret is safe with me for now, but please
have
don't
to
put
pay
us
up.
in more danger, because I don't have a good feeling about this place.
I don't either. Yeah. I'm gonna have the book stay put.
Listen, you and Caltier, When we met, you protected me. So I will protect you. There's something also the Caltier isn't saying. I don't know what it is.
The Calthier's not saying. He already doesn't say much.
I don't know. I wonder if his spooked by this likeness of him and this other guy. Or if there's some story between them. I don't know. I trust him though.
I do too. Like, he's weird.
He's our weird.
He's our weird, but like, he's a little next level weird. Do you think Karis is just as strange as Calthier? There's two of them?
Strange is not what worries me. Murderous vampire lord is what worries me.
Well, I guess there's that too. What do you think he's holding back?
I wonder if he's ashamed of something. Something in his past. Something he's not proud of.
Like something super embarrassing?
No. Something sad or regretful.
And maybe the memory, like loss of memory thing, maybe that's locked out whatever the sad and super embarrassing event that happened was, you know?
Maybe.
Like maybe he was in a big crowd and he tooted and everybody knew it was him.
Listen, lad, I'm telling you this because I trust you and because I said I was going to keep your secret safe. I feel like I didn't want to talk about it, so let's not bring it up.
You don't want to talk about it?
Not right now, not out here. So
Okay. Well,
keep this to yourself, alright?
okay. I won't tell anybody.
We have a deal.
Okay. Deal.
Go sleep, I can't.
Well, I don't know if I can either.
I don't want to be murdered.
You both begin to turn in for the night. Out there, you're keeping watch.
You're sleeping? Or you're keeping watch?
Are you trying to stay awake or not? Okay. Make a Constitution saving. Are you trying to stay awake or are you just like?
No, I'm gonna try to sleep.
Okay.
I don't know if I'll be able to, but I'm gonna try to.
19.
Okay. You're able to stay awake. Are you trying to pretend like you're sleeping? Or not? Does Calthier notice that you're...
Oh, he does, and I keep my gun in my lap.
So you're just like... No, you're not sleeping.
Okay.
Yeah.
You begin to keep your watch.
Oh boy.
Calthier. I would like everyone except for Calthier and Timon to leave the table momentarily.
Oh boy.
I was just kidding, I'm awake.
Seriously. We'll see
It's
what
time for me to turn you into a vampire.
Oh no! I will shoot you.
One of us.
What did you do? What did you do?
Timon, you're unable to fall asleep.
I'm still sweating.
Calthier, you notice towards the later part of the night, near the end of your watch, the door creaks open.
Go to our room.
Yeah. You don't notice it, Timon. Calthier, you notice it.
Where are you relative to me? Because I basically, right now, I'm probably sitting relatively close to the center of the room, facing the door, and just kind of like sitting around, like thinking. That's mostly what I do. we'll be doing?
I would have a wall to my back,
Mhm.
and I would be watching entrances and exits.
Yeah, I think you would be, but you're like
I
You
might
might
be
be looking
looking
at, you might be
not
looking at
know
the window or something when
Yeah,
that
I
happens,
might be
guess,
looking at the
but,
window.
Yeah.
Then I'm just going to kind of place whatever side he's on with that hand. I'm just going to place back towards you in hopes that you and just kind of like while it's just above the ground, just be kind of waving the hand towards you in hopes that you notice my hand while I'm watching the door.
I would say you notice it, though you don't know what it's related to.
I just see his hands like this.
Yep. Door creaks open, and all of a sudden, it's almost like pure shadow. You can't make out anything through the door, despite your dark vision. You narrow your eyes and you take a look. You can't see anything; it's just darkness and shadows. But you're able to make out a figure. It's the figure of Shay. She's wearing a fairly plainish dress, different attire than what she was wearing when she went to class. She looks around and she notices the dome.
A giant opaque dome in the middle of her room.
She smiles, and she begins to cast a spell.
Okay.
You just noticed now that the door is open.
But I don't see anybody.
You don't see it.
So she's like in a shadowy form.
It's almost like the shadows are clinging to her.
Okay. For now, I'm mostly just gonna watch because I assume the dome's gonna do all right. But I will try to discern what she's doing if I can see it clear enough.
Make an Arcana check for me.
Oh, I was so close. 7.
You can't know for sure.
Okay.
And it isn't a long time. It's about 6 seconds. The dome disappears. She's casting the spell magic.
I didn't know that could get rid of the dome.
She actually, like, the shadows from around her dissipate. She stands there with her finger to her mouth.
I don't make any sudden movements as if I'm going for casting or anything like that, but I will slowly stand up unless she gestures otherwise.
I'm just gonna hit some rolls just for anybody else to see if they wake up or not. No. And this is
I
right.
haven't really made a sound. I'm just.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Oh, my hand has not. I'm not doing this anymore. Now my hand has stopped, but I do still have it toward whatever direction you are of me.
She raises a finger and like points to you, and you hear a voice in your head. We should talk in private. And she's just staring at you with her finger on her mouth.
Do you?
I'm gonna try to respond.
You can.
Yeah. Why dispel the barrier?
I need to speak to you. You were in there.
By doing that, you do put my friends at risk.
I promised you that no harm would come to any of you while you're here. That's my guess.
I'm gonna try to insight read on that.
Take an insight check. Oh, you can just see the two of them just staring
I
daggers
still
at
have
each
my
other.
hand like this.
Yeah, no, I'm still sweating profusely.
Insight 24.
She rolled a 22. She's not lying. And you can also catch a hint of desperation on her voice.
Okay. I'm gonna turn to you. So I'm facing you now and just say, stay alert. I'm whispering this as to not wake the others. Stay alert. I'll be right back.
What happened with your bubble?
She put it down.
So I shouldn't shoot her then?
I don't think that's a wise idea.
Where are you going?
Have a conversation.
Do you need company?
No, this needs to be just me. I won't be long.
One sec.
I imagine you guys are trying to keep your voices.
Oh yeah, I'm speaking a little bit louder just so that it picks it up.
Yeah,
but
yeah.
I'm like whisper breath, like talking like this.
I still have Alistair stat on this. Usually he'd be the only one who'd be able to pick this up.
Alright. Let's do it. If you need help, you'll help. I'll come find you.
I'll make a loud bang. And I will slowly start walking towards her to go out of the room.
And I look at her and say, "Don't hurt my friend."
She, like, instead of pointing at you, she points at you. I promise you, no harm will come to you or your friend while I'm here. She turns around and begins to make her way down the stairs. You follow suit. You're left alone in this room. Is there anything you'd like to do?
I wake up Astra.
I would like you to leave. We'll figure that out when we both come back.
Just go tell her that you didn't wake her up, but to stay over there.
Follow you.
Calvin.
Yeah.
You follow her down the stairs as she leads the way. The door to the parlor is open where you first sat when you'd come in. She steps inside, grabs a seat, sits down. She closes the door behind you so we can talk freely without fear of waking up your friends. Step in.
I do not ritually because it would take too long. As soon as I go to enter the room, I will, as I'm entering, cast Detect Magic.
Yeah. You don't detect anything out of the ordinary.
Okay.
On her, though, she's packing a few magical items. There's like a necklace. There's you do notice almost like a dagger type thing on like her belt. She's not.
I will be keeping a peripheral as well. I personally do not have the arrowhead thing, which means
you're keeping an eye out for it. So I imagine you all have been wondering why I asked you all to come visit, and I'm certain that I believe you might already have a little bit of an idea based on your nature and the nature of my sire. When I met him, he looked very similar to you, and I haven't met any others. I take it to assume that you're one of the survivors of Linvanum, one of the remnant.
Not personally.
So you weren't around?
No.
Interesting.
What do you know of our nature?
I know there was a very powerful Rexite that flew a bit too close to the sun, or so to speak, the moon. I believe my sire was one of the high-ranking official military leaders of the city. I believe he was exiled from the city, or perhaps he left. I don't know for sure. It's interesting to me that you weren't around back then, because that seems to imply that your people still live. That there are others like you, like him. I'm fascinated by you because you're the first source I have of more information about him. Any of his weaknesses, where he's from, how he thinks, and how to get rid of the world of him.
Why do you want to get rid of him?
Do you know what the greatest threat to a vampire is?
Enlighten me.
It's not the sun, it's not the gods. It's another vampire. For the past 5 centuries, he has held over my head the specter of doom, of his domination over me, that he owns me, that he can make me dance on his fingertips, that he can make me... You can see her features, like, intensify with rage. She's losing control. That he can make me stay in this shitty home in the middle of nowhere, feasting on animals and lycanthropes and... I want him dead.
Why not tell us this earlier? Why tell only me?
I want to know more about you. I don't care about your friends. I'm sure they're quite capable. I'm sure you're able to help me in this if you'd like. I don't think it's a good idea for you all to get involved in this personally. I just want to learn. Who are you? Where do you come from? Where does he come from?
Are there not history books that speak of Bannon?
He's made sure to remove anything that would give me information about him, and I can't leave this place for fear that he comes back one of these days and I'm not here.
If I'm being honest, I don't know him. I've never heard his name. I don't know who he is.
Make a deception check.
I don't know if it'll work without a natural 20. But I do have minus.
He has a really good insight.
Yeah.
There must be something. He's interested in your home and where you're from. What is he doing there? Have you heard anything that's been happening in the area where you're from for the past 50 years? Anything that he's up to? I know he's working with the Fae, he's working in the Fae realm, he's working with the Weaver, these strange entities. What is he doing?
Do you know the Weaver?
I've met him, he's come for dinner a few times.
Of late?
Yes. A few months back he was here.
Well, we met him more recently.
Oh. That must be what drew my master's eye then.
Yes, not entirely on purpose. We were trying to help another part of these woods, and he so happened to be there. Put a bit of a curse on the area. He actually did mention Karis by name, but that was the first I had heard of him.
Did he mention where Karis is?
He had...
Last I checked, he had gone to the Fae realm for something, so if he was in the Fae realm still.
The Weaver noticed similarities between our appearances.
It's hard to miss. Though I do admit the last time I met Karis, his features had changed rather drastically. Perhaps all this dabbling in strange magic has changed him. He looked far more sinister than even you.
Honestly, there wasn't much information I could get from him. I think Karis may have at some point been doing something back near the lake where the old Rexate was, but I don't know what.
I've tried to take a look there with my magic. All I see is darkness.
That checks out. The shoot, was it like the fountain or the grove? The area that we were at was shrouded in the darkness, unlike anything I've seen before. I don't know if it's the Weaver's doing or he inherited that from Karis.
Do you know where he gets his power from?
No clue.
Do you know if he has a home or a shrine or a temple or something, anything? Is there any place that's sacred to your people there where he could have? How much do you know about the undead?
I imagine I don't know very much about the undead. Not much.
He has lived far longer than even those of your kind.
You mentioned he's a vampire, so...
Yes, but I believe he's rather recently mastered something few dream of. It's the mastery over death itself.
I know about, like, lichdom.
Yes.
Does Kelsier know anything about that? Because, like, necromancy is very...
I don't think so.
Okay. I mean... do I know any sense of, like, vampires being, like, immortal? Or is it just...
Vampires can die.
Okay.
There are ways
They're not
to
masters
die.
of death. They
They will
just-
not come back to life when they're a kid.
Yeah.
They will go to their corpse. Like, if you kill them, they turn into mist. They go to their corpse, and a stake through the corpse kills them.
Yeah, sure. Okay. I mean,
Have you ever heard of the phrase phylactery?
have I? I'm sorry, I'm not familiar.
Do you have any arcane experts in your group?
Somewhat familiar.
Ask them to fill you in. There's a form of magic that you can use to ensure that no matter what befalls you, your spirit remains. It returns to this phylactery and is reborn again the next day. I believe he's achieved that because some of the telltale signs of the changes that he's undertaken in these past decades seem to imply that.
Are you saying he cannot die?
I do believe so. I don't know how he's done it, and I want to make sure. He is a great evil that has befallen this land. I would like to not only for myself to be rid of him, but for the rest of this world to be rid of him.
How
He
exactly
is
do
immensely powerful.
How exactly do you plan on doing that if you cannot kill
I
him?
don't know. But you all are the first potential avenue I have. As strange as it is for strangers to come traipsing through these woods and for him to have an eye on you, I imagine if he's interested, your paths will cross. I would be sure of it.
This is a lot to take in.
And you're certain you don't know anything about him.
The first
That
time
his name, that
first-
Karis Miradan, does not ring a bell to you.
does not. That's I'm trying to. Oh, you're trying to use straight face.
Yeah.
Other than what the Weaver said, he looks like me. He operates somehow with the Fae of the Unseelie Court.
Yeah.
Unseelie Court, and potentially operating around that lake. It wasn't until we met you that we found out that he was a vampire.
I don't know what he's up to. I don't know what he's been up to for this past decades, but whatever it is, I have no doubt that it's not good. Selfishly, I would love to be free of him. I would love to have my independence back. I would love to go home. I would love to go to Sylvia. I'd love to bring Gregor with me. We may live where I grew up. But
I apologize for my ignorance on the matter, but should you free yourself of your master, what happens to you? Anything?
you get to live. again, as much as I can, and still be a vampire. But I would not be tied to this place. I would not be forced here. I would be able to move my coffin elsewhere.
You cannot leave these grounds.
I can, because of his words and because of his magic and because of his power. If he were to find that I was breaking my word, if he was to keep an eye on any of us and know that I was working against him, I would not be long for this world.
You should know the weapon in your basement. It has a voice.
I have heard it. It is powerful. It is his. It is profoundly evil.
I figured as much given his nature, but is his power in any way tied to it?
I believe this entire manor is his power.
Is there any way you can use that to your advantage?
I am his power. If he were to will it, I would not exist.
If he willed you against us?
I would tell you to run.
I appreciate your honesty.
I believe I have a modicum of control that myself and Gregor would be able to hold ourselves. And Gregor is not. Gregor serves me. He serves me of his own will. I have not turned him. I have not done any ensorceling. We are grown close. We are very good companions and lifelong friends. So I've asked him if he would like the blessing of immortality. If he would like to be turned, and he's rejected it many times. And I would not force it upon him out of respect for himself. For him, he's a good man. But he would hold me back if I was forced to. I've told him that.
He would try.
Yeah. I heard from him that the sparring did not go well. That you were able to overcome him. Which is good. That you all were able to overcome him. If that means you may be able to overcome me as well.
Perhaps, though I wouldn't want it to come to that.
Neither would I.
Which leads me to my next thought that I don't believe we're safe here.
I also tend to agree. I believe you should leave tomorrow. But go armed with this knowledge that I've given you, and if you find out anything, any way to stop him, any hint of what he's doing, any information at all, please let me know.
I'll ask you this. Not to be disrespectful, but just trying to be honest and rational here. If we discover anything, how would providing that to you help us?
He is powerful, he is strong, and he is doing something profoundly evil. If you need aid against him, I will be able to help.
I believe you want to. I do. But if he can control you at the snap of a finger, I don't know how much value you'll be able to find beyond knowledge.
I'm thinking of ways, but I would need to find two things. And these are two very specific things. Either his phylactery or his corpse, where his vampiric soul returns to. If you can eliminate the corpse, his vampiric powers over me will wane. His vampiric powers over his blood will wane. And I will be free to help you in the potential battle to come. I don't know what his intent is with you all. I don't know what he's doing. I know he's keeping an eye on you all, and in particular you. I was not lying when I asked you to come here for your own safety. Because if you were out in the woods, he does hold great sway over the werewolves. They're afraid of me, but they're infinitely more afraid of him. As anyone should be. I'm laying all my cards out on the table for you. Are you certain there's nothing you know that can help me? Is there anything among your people, any knowledge of this exiled warrior general, this ruler, corrupt, fallen from grace, that you can give me? Any distant legend, any potential fortress or ruin or a place that's important to him? Anything.
The only thing I know about the history of Limbanum is its downfall at the location of its Rexate in a battle depicted on a piece of artwork in your estate here. I only know myths, nothing beyond high levels of the fall.
Very well. You may go return to your companions. I'll sit here and think. If you would like to leave in the morning, feel free to. If you wish to stay around, I don't recommend it, but you may. It's up to you.
If we come across any information that could be of value where I believe we can help you, I do want to try to help you, but I do need to make sure that I weigh the risks.
She reaches into her blouse and pulls out a piece of folded paper, hands it to you. I don't think any of your groups or companions are capable of this. You open
I opened it up.
On it is just an intricately carved arcane rune.
Okay.
Almost like a circular enchanted sort of pattern. I'm giving you this at great risk. If any of your friends or anybody you come across in your travel is capable of it, with the knowledge of this arcane sigil, you will be able to teleport back here with a simple spell. Well, not a simple spell, a rather powerful magical spell. But you'll be able to unerringly arrive here on the 3rd floor.
Am I familiar at all with that style of... Obviously, I don't know how to do it. I was just curious if I knew anything. If I'd
heard anything
never
like
seen
that?
anything about that kind of teleportation or anything. Okay.
There are very few places on Rivenact where this sort of magic works, where it's unaffected by the lightning rifts. This is one of those places. I don't know why the lightning rifts don't affect it. Perhaps there's a research chamber downstairs that is locked off where Karis was performing some sort of research. I've never been able to get into it, and anytime I try, it has hurt me greatly. That is a potential thing that you could help me investigate.
Has Gregor tried?
I'm afraid of sending him there. He's my only friend, and he's the only one here. If something was to happen to him, I would be alone again for centuries. I don't want that. I've forbidden him from going there, and he listens to me.
I don't want to come across as harsh, but if Karis poses as big of a danger to you and this world, is it not worth the risk?
It is. But I can't.
Fair enough.
I've asked him if he would do it for me. He said no, and I would not force him to do anything when he wholeheartedly refuses it. If he can sometimes be hesitant about things such as the sparring, but I knew that was mostly in jest.
What is it an enchanted door? What is this?
You could say that. Powerful necromantic magic.
It's a bit outside our expertise.
It is simply an option. If you are interested in helping out and learning more about him, there might be something there. There might not. I myself can't go in there at all. That was another reason for potentially bringing in outside help. I haven't seen anyone who, let's just say, was potentially trustworthy in several decades. Once again, I've laid my cards out on the table. I have nothing to hide.
Do I believe that?
Make an insight check.
Probably. 30-20.
She rolled a 28 persuasion. She's not lying.
Okay. These last couple days is the first time I've come across in my travels people, or at least mention of people or someone who looks like me. I want to know more. I want to be able to help. I do. But I can't promise anything beyond that. We'll try. And if he is as big of a danger to this world as you say, then it's not somebody that we'll want to just let go free, especially if he has his eyes on us or those we care about.
I don't... You know that he was in that battle.
I mean, so I've been told.
At the time of that battle, he was old. He was ancient. I don't know how long he's been around. I don't know. Perhaps he was one of the few who first came out of the mountains and the trees and formed the city. He was one of the leaders of this great nation. He's ancient. He's powerful. And he's dangerous. I think I'll leave you to ponder that. You may return to your companions. I'll sit here and... You know, it's times like this that I really wish I could drink. Unfortunately, alcohol doesn't do much to me anymore.
Fair enough. I'm not sure we'll be here in the morning. I mean, as you've already shown, you're able to contact me. I don't know if that holds true well beyond these grounds, but...
It should.
I will reach out if I feel like there is something that can help you.
I would keep a wary eye out. Now that he is interested in you, as I mentioned, I'm sure your paths will cross. I'm sure, even outside of here, at any point you may be in danger.
Yes, it seems our paths are destined to come together.
It's funny. Never was much of a believer in destiny until now. What are the chances that someone who looks like him simply comes wandering through these woods at the right moment?
Yes, I also have been a bit hesitant on believing all of those destined, I guess, historical pieces, but I've seen a lot of unbelievable things over the last little while. I honestly don't know what to believe anymore.
He stands up, walks over to the door, opens the door. He's just standing there.
Well, I appreciate you sharing this with me. I understand that it takes a great deal of trust to tell me the things that you did.
I trust that if he was to find you and interrogate you, that would probably mean the end of me. So
Well, let's
take
hope
that as the sign of my trust in you.
let's hope
We're
it
good
doesn't-
people.
I appreciate that. I know we haven't had too much time to prove it, but we do try to generally do what we believe to be the right thing.
I see that. Did you take one of his books? He points at the empty spot in between the two books.
No, earlier I noticed one of the books I'd seen before, and I just pointed out the Creating Life book there. I took it for a short read, but I put it back on the shelf now.
All of the books on that shelf are cursed. I don't know why.
I did notice something on it. I prepared myself mentally to withhold it, at least to just read it temporarily, but do you know who wrote those by any chance? The one that I pointed out and the other one there?
My understanding is that Karis did.
Ah,
Those three in particular were his works.
I guess he had them published. As I have another
I believe
copy.
he made several copies of them.
Fair enough.
He had friends, from what he mentioned, across the land, across Ravenna. He was at one point one of the speakers of some cult known as the Eye of the Storm. One of the high-ranking magisters, so to speak.
He was high-ranking master, is what you said?
Yeah. As you can see, I've done a lot of research into him, but I've never been able to figure out where he's from or where he may have set roots.
Do you believe he is from somewhere before Bonham and before it fell?
I don't think so. That's the earliest that I have of him. But in the years since then, he's been very secretive. Regardless,
Yes.
I'll let you return to your friends. I'll sit here for a moment until dawn approaches and go to bed.
Well, thank you again for this. Thank you for letting us stay here and protecting us from the wilds. Again, I will reach out if I find something that I believe can
If
help
on your
you.
travels through the woods, your paths cross with a gruff-looking fellow by the name of Kareem, and he gives you any hassle, let him know that you're under my protection, and he should let you pass.
Okay. Well, thank you.
You may go. She leaves the door open and goes and sits while looking out of the she turns a chair over to look out the window. She just leans back and sits there.
Yeah, I walk out of the room and trying to gather all my thoughts.
Everyone else can come back. You would like?
We'll probably want to call it. See
Yeah.
something out.
I think I'll just do the scene with
Not just
Ashra
ending it
and
on a
Timon.
cliffhanger.
I mean, we can have a quick scene with Ashra and Timon. If
I'm
you'd
gonna
like.
retcon that, and I woke up Arthur.
Oh, okay.
I guess they wanted.
I don't get included in any conversation.
Timon, you woke up Markmere.
Arkmir. Wake up. Sorry. Wake up.
You wake up and you immediately notice that the room is actually a little hotter than it was inside the dome.
Because they were.
Whoa. Yeah, we determined you had sex with her. And you're the
guys
king
know?
of, you're the king of
You see me
vampires.
with my gun in my hand?
Yeah.
In my lap?
Yeah.
I need your help. Kaltia, he so the vampire queen came in. And,
She was here.
You look around and you can see the Calpurnia not there. That the door is open and the dome is gone.
She made the bubble go away, and then she
Wait, you didn't? Did you wake us up?
well, I don't know what's going on. She came here. She wanted to talk to Kaltia, and she told us not to make noise. And she said that we're safe. I kind of believe her, but I don't know what's going on. You are sneaky beaky, like you can go follow them, right? Because if I try, I'm gonna fail.
I can
Clank,
definitely-
clank, clank, clank.
I can definitely go take a look. I mean, even if they see me, I don't think it should be a problem. But I'll stay hidden for as long as I can.
Make a stealth check for me.
Oh boy. That's kind of cocked. But,
Okay, wait, before you roll, did you only wake up him? Never mind. Proceed.
We're both asleep.
Yes. You're,
So got those cucumbers.
Yeah. Cucumber's still on.
this as well. Okay. And skills.
Oh boy.
See, I'm dreaming of
That's a 19.
sleeping with this girl.
What?
Kelty. I already did it. I upgraded her nipples to hearts.
Oh, nice.
you step out through the door. You sneak out. You look around to see, and you can just barely see like out there the like trail of his cloak like going down the stairs.
Oh, I thought you were going to say it's just clothing on the ground.
Well, I'm taking it off as I'm walking. Yeah.
You take a peek down the stairs and you see him step into the parlor and close the door behind him. You're on the stairs looking down. What do you do?
I'll follow towards the door of the parlor.
You go to the door. The door's closed.
Yeah. I guess I'm sneakily doing it, but can I hear anything?
Make a perception check.
You're gonna walk
What
in
if
on
I,
him,
like-
just- he's gonna be tied up and she's gonna be pegging
Yeah,
or something. Yeah.
Is there a gap
Yeah.
at the bottom of the door?
She's got like a strap.
Yeah, that's what
Can
I
I
mean.
like
Just
if
he's
I
in a
go
sex
that
swing,
closer to
she's
there? Is there like any clearer? Like enough for an
I mean,
advantage?
I won't give you advantage, but the DC will be the DC.
Okay.
They are still speaking inside relatively quietly, but not super quietly. So,
So this is a perception.
yes, it is a perception.
Okay. So it's at least a 15, and I can roll this if needed.
You should roll that. You're looking for an 18.
He did it.
Yeah, it's 19.
Okay. You're able to make out the conversation that happens inside.
We
You can
didn't
just
need to
go
leave
and
the whole
watch
time.
You get to
afterwards.
go watch the conversation afterwards.
Oh my god.
And then after a little while, the door opens. As it opens, it's probably only been like 9 or so minutes.
I'd be able to tell when they were like finishing the conversation
You can
enough to
tell.
kind of like
How
move
moist
away.
is his head?
9 minutes?
That's pretty good. That's not bad. We said you were gonna have to roll a
That's
check.
how long we were on for.
The door opens.
As,
I'm arriving.
as the door opens, as they're approaching, you
This
hear
is a bad guys.
you hear someone coming towards the door, towards the end of this conversation. What do you do?
I would be like on top of the stairs. Like I wouldn't try to go down, but I would be like.
I'm like, no, I'm kind of scurrying back up as quietly as I can.
You make your way back up the stairs. The door opens, and the conversation continues for a little bit after the door opens. You're not able to make out. You'll know when you're watching it when the door opens.
Okay.
Mostly fine. You see Calter step out, and he heads back upstairs to join you all. And that's probably a good spot to end the session.
Oh man.
Pick up next time
I want to
on
know what
the
happened.
conversation that Arkmir listened in on.
I want to
Oh,
be
man.
everywhere, happy.
I don't get to watch it. Fuck.
Don't worry.
What if we watch it?
Hey, Tommy, you can't believe it. You won't believe what I've heard.
I'll tell you a secret. If you go to Pornhub.com, I'm sure you can find it.
Search for Bald Elf and vampire.
Oh
queen.
god. Vampire
Oh, that's already saved in my
Vampire
That's the
queen.
regular in Halloween time.
Oh, then I know what happens.
I've seen that one.
All right.
Thanks a lot, guys.
Yeah.
Bye.